Hello, I'm Ethan, a New York-based organization development coach. I work with organizations to unleash their people's untapped potential, and I'm excited to share this webinar with you today on how do you build a client avatar to maximize your sales success. So right out of the gate, let me just start by saying I've worked with many groups of sales professionals in cable and telecom, real estate, banking, financial services, professional services. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all what the industry or sector is, because in order to achieve sales success, you start with a client avatar. And then what an avatar is it's a profile that's developed in such intimate detail that as soon as you land literally your first relationship with that outstanding lifetime valuable client, you can then cookie cutter the approach. So the first thing I'd like to suggest as your coach, if you are in a sales or new client acquisition role, stop thinking about the sale. The sale is a transaction. And if you think about the lifetime experience you have with that client, sales is only one of four stages, right? So the first stage is you develop a client avatar, the ideal client profile in as much detail as possible. The first stage is looking at your universe of potential clients, those people who have a base level of potential need and opportunity. They need your products, they need to sign up for your services. Those are called prospects. That's a marketing step to go into your universe of prospects and further pre-qualify them to further refine that potential ideal client. So the marketing stage one is prospect identification and then whittling down that potential Rolodex of possible clients through pre-qualification, which is your marketing. The sale is the second stage, getting somebody to purchase from you that first time. That's a transaction. And so I'd like you to get out of that mindset to be successful, to understand that the sale is the logical conclusion. It's the end result of building a relationship. You start with, who is the individual that I can forge a relationship with? So let's just say on screen is Jane Smith. The goal is to understand in as much detail as possible, what are the challenges, the wants, needs, desires, interests, passions that keep Jane up at night? You can see on the screen, it says goals and values. This is not about you as a salesperson. This is about your potential client, Jane. What are her goals in her career, in the role she's currently in her professional development? What are her goals, short term, this fiscal quarter, this calendar year, and longer term? The second piece is, what are her values? How do you get in alignment from a behavioral perspective? This is the field of psychology. How do you forge a relationship as a servant master to understand the values that Jane holds near and dear to her heart? Because you want to create relationship stickiness or trust, which starts with empathy. So it goes without saying, any good marketer in prospecting and pre-qualification, lead generation, to get to the sale, you have to know as much about Jane's personal and her work life. And that comes from understanding that every human being has five basic needs. The stated need, what Jane will tell you when you start to have that relationship and speak with her about her challenges. The stated need, the real need is when you get clarification and probe and drill deeper to understand what she really means when she tells you what she's looking for. So the stated need and the real need. What is she not telling you? You're filling into your client profile the things that you're going to dive deeper into as you build this relationship with Jane. You're forging it. You haven't gotten to step two, the sale yet, but you're getting there. So personal background, life details, her alma mater, where she went to school, her local community engagement, volunteer work, affiliations, her community activities, hobbies, interests, and then the professional. Obviously, the organization she works in, who are her peers? In the buying process, what role does she serve? One or more of the following: decision maker, influencer, end user of your products and services. So that's the professional. What are the challenges Jane faces with regard to her work life? And this is where you start to understand the things she hasn't told you she needs. Once you start to figure out what are the challenges and you strive to solve those are what we call delight needs. A delight need at the fourth level is basically, oh, wow, Ethan, you would do that for me? Yes, Jane, I would. I've researched the path forward that our organization can provide a solution to. And then the deepest, the fifth level of need that you're getting to build out in your relationship cultivation and building a profile are the secret needs, the things Jane probably won't tell you or some other salesperson that is competing with you for Jane's contract, because Jane won't even know. And that's where you really distinguish yourself. You're not a salesperson, you're a relationship cultivator. So that's how you fill out the personal, the professional, and then you get the challenges, pain points. What is Jane struggling with that you, your organization, and all of its suite of services and its product sets can solve the pain that Jane is encountering, whether they're operational, strategy, performance, efficiency, getting greater branding or market share from a marketer perspective. If it's an HR point of contact in this organization, how are you improving their efficiency about human capital management, training, development, employee benefits, payroll, all that good HR stuff. The objections come from your experience. You're an expert in your field for a reason. Over 1 or 5 or 15, 20 years of experience, you understand how to get Jane through that sales cycle, through that purchase process. You understand what her role is, mentioned it before, and what are potential objections. So all of this information to create an absolutely ideal customer profile, in this case, Jane, gets you to the point where you have an inside track, you understand her more intimately, you're working harder to solve her problems. It's built on mature trust that you've shared with her. You're going to solve these problems on her behalf. There's maturity, there's empathy, all the things that people look for nowadays in relationships. She purchases from you. Congratulations, that's a sales activity. That's the second step in the process. Now comes the heavy lift. That sale was just the result of something. Maybe it was purely price considerations or the pressure of time, or she wanted to streamline her decision-making or the RFP process if she chose a select few vendors. You were one. You want to go from vendor to strategic partner in her mindset. So the next step is getting Jane to renew the contract, purchase a second time from you, a third, have their organization build trust with what you do, and they will start to make repeat purchases. The repeat purchase, you've gone from a sales role to that third highest level. It's service. So you can kind of understand that the client avatar is a way to get a holistic view of all of the attributes, circumstances, characteristics, behaviors of this ideal client profile. Because once you master the relationship with Jane, you're going to cookie cutter it out to as many people in your sphere of influence who have that desirable set of attributes that are most resemble Jane's profile. So that third level of the repeat purchaser is that Jane client has gone from the first-time purchasers or mercenary. They have no trust, loyalty, or regard for your wants or needs. It's just basically a transaction. Mercenaries are 80% of your Rolodex. The time that Jane now feels more comfortable in this relationship evolution with you, she's bought from you a second and a third time. She's becoming what we call loyal. So she went from mercenary, which is no skin in the game of this relationship with you, to being a little bit more vested. She's not bought from you a few times. She understands the relationship dynamic between you. She has more trust in you, that you understand her challenges, that you're there to solve problems, reduce pain, overcome her challenges. Those loyalists
are approximately 17 to 18% of your Rolodex. So the 80% mercenary one-time purchasers, the 17 to 18% repeat, which means the third level we move on from this service level where you've gotten Jade to buy from you a few times. Now you moved into the most desirable state, that fourth stage. And you can see we're moving up the customer lifetime value stairwell. That fourth stage is what we call Jane's role now has gone from repeat purchase customer. So she went from being basically loyal to you and your organization to being a VIP brand ambassador. And that fourth stage requires relationship cultivation. And every one of these stages, the prerequisite is the client avatar. It's a complete holistic view of Jane in all of her glory and all of the organization she works for. To get to that nirvana, that approximately 2% of your Rolodex are VIP brand ambassadors, this is what the relationship looks like. Because you've built such a robust view, profile of what Jane stands for personally, professionally, her work environment, her career and professional development aspirations, her background, education, culture, upbringing, language proficiency, family commitments, all of that piece of that 50,000 view of Jane's landscape enables you to engage at such a heightened level of service that she'll refer other people to you. She'll refer friends to your organization. She'll provide video testimonials and endorsements. Jane will become an advocate. She'll give you feedback on what works with your products, what services she really needs to have. She'll give you feedback on things that you could improve upon. So if you think about the totality of a client avatar, the process of creating a beautifully ornate and laden with details and attributes, characteristics, personality, traits, styles, communication, preferred communication engagement, all of the totality of understanding Jane from the very first time you engage takes you farther than any attempt to achieve that one-time sale, which again is a transaction. Because you want to go from prospecting and lead qualification, those are marketing activities, to identify all of this information about Jane. You want her to buy from you the first time, that's a sales function. Then all of a sudden you want to service her to get her to buy from you again, a second, a third time, to go from mercenary to basically loyal. And then to summarize even further, once you get Jane to be a relatively loyal, stable client where there's an increasing revenue generation towards your customer lifetime journey with her, the ultimate heightened sense of relationship nirvana is she becomes a brand ambassador for your organization. And the question is, not only do you have enough detail that you keep filling in to track that journey with Jane, do you measure every touch point in your communication lifetime with her? That's called the customer lifetime journey. And you can go down into the description, like this video, go and search on other videos that are in how to grow an amazing organization, how to build your sales force, how to develop your people. Check out all the videos. Please drop a like. And also, while you're here in our channel, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on other videos that we drop pretty regularly on great business, career, and professional development advice. Thank you for stopping in with the Chazen Group today.